This is an audiobook titled The Art of Absolute Reality by Brendan James Franchina. Pushing the immovable object into the perfect light of all axioms of the all-isness of the current of life. On a journey without distance in the grandeur of the light of the eternal moment of now, as the fabric to the substance of one's innermost self, the eternal flux flows the spice of the isness of all life's journeys at an eternal crossroad in the juncture of the most meaningful. The eternal whole of the eye's unified plane of consciousness does the energetically linked pathways of the universal stream of consciousness ascertain the raising into the universal chakra's glow of fortuitous expansion into the totality of the kingdom of reality's highest plode. Does the crown chakra of the perfection of gratuitous simulation into the spiritualized vision? Does the eternal crux dissolve into the grandeur of our light? Fortuitous plode of the technologically induced alchemy of the metaphoric reality of the holographic universe plodes the 100% equality of the all-encompassing energized totality of the heavenly plane of perfect oneness and perfect love. The energetically linked eternal moment of now, powerfully extending infinitely from the center of the universe, ascertains its infinite oneness experience with Prime Creator of the soul juice of a journey without distance in perfect oneness and perfect love. The certain one energy of the eternal life current plodes the plosion of infinite perfect oneness, of the total consciousness of the energetically linked eternal moment of now, ploded plosion of the intrinsic order, of the extrinsic way, of the almighty currents of perfect healing. The paradox of infinite completion dissolves into the wholeness of the universal stream of the spice of the currents of eternal life. Is the grandeur of the presence of Prime Creator and the vibratory bliss of the love of eternal co-creation in the absolute reality of the unified plane of consciousness. The one mind extends its light from the center of the universe to the heights of the totality of the energetically linked eternal moment of now. As the plosion plodes the eternal crux of a dualistical plane of existence, while the unified state of consciousness ascertains its eternal life through the transcendence of the tiny mad idea of separation from the united core of the universe. The innermost self's united core and its shining grandeur is energetically linked to the infinite completion of the eternal moment of now in the gratuitous, fortuitous, harmonious plode of the ascertained state of the universal stream of consciousness. Ergo we plode to the plosional truth of the celebration of the one love of the energy consciousness. Ascertain fortuitous flow of the energetically linked eternal moment of now, blissing out in the universal stream of consciousness in the unified plane of existence, in the united innermost self's core in the center of the universe. There is only the infinite characteristics of love in the united innermost core of the soul's perfect oneness, in the sustainable eternity's vision by proclamations of the spoken word of the ascertained state, of the eternal hand on the heart ritual of feeling nature's flow of the currents of the universal stream of consciousness. The ascertained state of the all-plodedness plosions its eternal vision into the core of the innermost self, united universal stream of consciousness into the perfect love of perfect oneness. The eternal moment of now, energetically linked in the eternal flux of the memory of God in the brain of the universe. The lucid flow of the love of the universal stream of consciousness expands into the ultimate reality of itself, into the alchemy being of the soul's strength, blessing the holographic unit, into the ascertained state of the universal life, flowing gratuitously into the always oneness with the innermost self's united core, flowing effortlessly in the home of the heart of the innermost universe. The eternal crux explodes and dissolves into lightning's thunder, and begins to feel the eternal song and dance of the absolute reality's highest vibration, sustained into the eternal flux, the ancient flow of the crystallized energies of the ultimate prime directive of infinite upgrades into the plotted grandeur of the essence of the tone and frequency of the eternal vibrations of the collective consciousness of the universal stream of reality. Does the meaningful upgrade into the eternalness of the now plode, a new bliss of the soluality of the opening of all 7 energy centers, peacefully opening the universal chakra into the unified plane of consciousness. The eternal vibration sustains our joyousness of the wind of the currents of the infinite flux. It ascertains a fortuitous integration into the presence of the Prime Creator. Its vibration is attuned to the eternal energy grid of the Kingdom of Heaven. Blessed by infinite streams of eternal spice of the gratuitous infinite fortuitousness of the holiness of the ascertained reality of the totality of the energetically linked eternal moment of now, Kingdom of Heaven. Blesses with infinite perfect oneness, perfect love, holiness beyond measure, into the soul's current beyond all universes, the eternal flux capacity plodes, a grander plosion into the infinite stream of the one consciousness. The energetically linked eternal moment of now plodes into the highest plosion of the ploded clarity of infinite extension, into the energetically linked eternal moment of now's infinite truth of the all-flowing currents, into the ploded current of absolute reality. The intrinsic order of the eternal life of the sustainable currents of the energetically linked eternal moment of now plodes the essence of perfect oneness into the vibratory dream of infinite completion, into the core of one's innermost self. The modus operandi of the emphatic use of universal consciousness ergoes its plode of ascertained fortuitous gratuitousness, plosions its plode in the intrinsic realization of absolute reality unto itself as the love mastermind of the extension of the non-specific's translation of perfect oneness into the presence of love. It seems the world was transcended long ago in the consistent plodingness of the energetically linked eternal moment of now. 'Cause Prime Creator had an infinite oneness experience in the eternal hall of mirrors with the plosional plode of the ascertained universal stream of consciousness of perfect oneness and perfect love. I'm the south fire with wood and steel to translate infinite vibration of bliss into the journey past the moon, past all of the stars, to the center of the universe. We're given the universe to be a talisman, and come back out from the center of the universe, past all of the stars, past the moon to the sitting on top of the world, and ascertaining the earth to be your amulet. For infinite oneness with the auric field of universal enlightenment, and back down into the perfect oneness and perfect love of the infinite extension of the holy instant. Define fully self-aware with the heart, and feel the mind in the eternal crossroad of the unifying of the energetically linked eternal moment of now, in the non-specifics translation of the flux from the dream of lucidity's highest plode of the eternal life plosion of the love of the light, of the infinite oneness experience with Prime Creator. I couldn't even hold a candle to the fearfulness of the ego in that Priest movie, for containing the collective subconsciousness fear that to proclaim individuality we must have took it from God, and in that taking was the destroying of heaven and perfect oneness, and by taking that individuality we believe we murdered God, and in the fear of murdering God we think he will want his revenge. So we left the mind where perfect oneness resided, in the one mind of the perfect love, extending from the center of the universe. Did we project ourselves out of the mind into a body and miscreated a world of separation and scarcity as we dream of exile from our unlimited happiness and joy and wealth of the riches of the energetically linked eternal moment of now, and its eternal flux of consistent isness, of all of the infinite characteristics of love and the potent spice of bliss. The essence of the divinity that flows in the unified plane of consciousness flows from the infinity of the timelessness of the ebb and flow of the universal currents of absolute reality, transcends the plight of humanity of a dualistically geared thought system of separation, and fragmented consciousness giving rise to the transcendence of senility's inner contraction, of the denial of the sustainable currents of infinite oneness experience with Prime Creator, on a journey without distance in the energetically linked eternal moment of now. Capricious, voracious, intrinsic, extrinsic, fortuitous, gratuitous, plode into the plode of plosion, the plosionality of the infinite grandeur, and dissolves the eternal crux into the intrinsic realization. We are all alien baby soul creatures of the energetically linked eternal moment of now. Apex axiom of the eternal currents of life, plodes the ploded plosion of infinite receiving in the infinite giving, of the perfect oneness and perfect life of the universal stream, of universal consciousness, goes the dualistically geared finite crux of the intrinsic merging into all of the faculties of love, into total consciousness giving way to the heartfelt cultivation and nourishment of the harmonious flow of the eternal currents of the all-isness of life. Creation is the apex of the energetically linked eternal moment of now, of the infinite oneness experience of the universal stream of universal consciousness. I am forever synced the earth vibration with the heavenly infinite oneness experience with Prime Creator, who is on a journey of the distancelessness of the infinite universal stream of consciousness, ploding, transcending the space in the mirror. The eternal ploded plosionally bursts the essence of the spice of itself unto itself. The precisionless precision in the changeless changelessness plods the plosional fury of the speed of infinite completion, of infinite oneness with the balance of the meaningful meaning, of the eternal infiniteness, of the energetically linked eternal moment of now. Applied into the energy of the wholeness of love beyond measure, in the grandeur of our perfect love, does it still our core to perfect holiness, and the unlimited feeling of absolute reality. The perfection of total abstraction from the fourth system of fear and separation, from the ultimate reality of the infinite oneness, extends its vibration to the innermost self's core, of the perfect healing of the warmth of ascertained fortuitous gratuitousness, is the absolute reality of the kingdom of heaven and the earth vibration as the oneness vibration of the bliss of eternal life. The innate ability of flowing in the universal stream of consciousness, of the healing energies of oneness of co-creation with the vibratory frequency, of subtlety of infinite extension in the unified grandeur. Contact with the core and the innermost self of the higher self. The universal stream of consciousness plods into the infinite oneness experience of the eternal life, energetically linked eternal moment of now, the vibration of the memory of the experience of the perfect love of Prime Creator, handing down the treasure beyond measure of the extrinsic order, of the intrinsic order of the extrinsic life, of the grandeur of the essence of heaven. The ascertained state of the eternal vibration of life is the only ultimate reality of the power that stems from the center of the universe, vibrating the seven rays into ultimate infinite extensional oneness, transcending the shield of the delusional block to the experience of the revelation of a new method of modus operandi to create an enlightened planetary civilization that is the oneness of the eternal vibration of the memory of the eternal light energetically linked to the absolute suns of the innermost self's core, the levelless level of the precisionless precision of the ultimate perfection of the eternal vibration in the universal current of the eternal life, of the awareness of the eternal whole of cosmic consciousness. The essence of one's true nature is the eternity of every moment, that is the grandeur of the heavenly love, of the infinite oneness experience with Prime Creator, in the totality reality of all creation, celebration of the peace of God, in and at one's innermost self's core, that is played in the consistent truth of eternal life experience, of the love of the core of the transmission of the heartfelt truth, of the meaning and purpose of all souls' journeys without distance in the energetically linked eternal moment of now is the kingdom of heaven's perfect love. Does the eternal love, eternal knowledge, plosion its plough through the sadness of the world, to rise up to untangle the tangled hierarchy into the doorways of the pathways of the extrinsic intrinsic wholeness, of the universal flow, of the sacred plode, of the only ultimate reality, is the love's most holy plode, of the grasp of the depths, of the perfect oneness and perfect love of life.